Yo, what's going on, guys? How is it going? It's Tyler here, and today I'm sitting in my kitchen. Usually it's a different setup. I got all my groceries back there with my air fryer and whatnot, so don't pay any mind to that. It's kind of a mess right now, but yeah, I just brought that in yesterday. But no, today I'm bringing you a brand new video. I kind of wanted to switch it up from just the basic gaming that I have been doing. I hope you guys have been enjoying the Teamfight Tactics videos I have been uploading. I know they've been kind of repetitive, mainly because I don't really know many builds, so I kind of just stick with my comfort zone and kind of play from there and just go for a win. That's mainly if I can get you guys a win over necessarily overdoing like a crazy build, I would rather do that. And just bear with me as I do learn the game a little bit more and try to get a variety for you guys. But today I am it's not really switching it up too much. I'm going to still be eating. Now I have a platter here. I'm not really going to show it to you because I can't really, but I did some meal prepping, and I didn't end up eating this for lunch, so I was like, I'm going to eat it for dinner, so I might as well eat it for a YouTube video, but I'm not, that's not the YouTube video. The YouTube video is me sitting down and talking. So mainly what this discussion video, I guess, would be about is just, I've kind of touched on it briefly in the past, but I didn't necessarily go into detail. So today I kind of want to talk about I guess like the reasoning behind iOS Planet dropping off, and where along the lines of like the adult side of things that I was talking about that I've mentioned before, just like the adult parts of life that had hit me that wasn't necessarily up for explanation, especially to a group of children. So do I actually have to use a knife to open this dang hot sauce? My gosh. Didn't think this day would happen. But no, so mainly what all of that is, and the grand scheme of it all is not, iOS Planet didn't end because of, say, me diving into substances. iOS Planet didn't end because of me losing motivation and wanting to change my name and wanting to branch out and do all these different things. Mainly what it was, and I didn't know at the time, and it took me many years to kind of sit with myself and sit with just life itself and within experiences and just learn gradually as I went on. But that was, of course, I didn't have a name for it. I didn't know a name for it, and so on and so forth. But I was experiencing my very first experiences with depression, and it's not like the first, obviously. Every child goes through a point in time, especially with their character development, where they can get within a stuck spot within their head. I know a lot of things, a lot of people, myself included, things happen at a young age. Very, very hard to process it, and so you kind of end up processing it in your own way, the only way you know how to. It doesn't always make it the right way to cope with things. It doesn't always make it the right, the healthiest way, whatever, but different people go different ways. So within that time period, I can say, I touched on it, there was a point in time where my numbers were going down, and so within my numbers, it kind of gave me a scare of, oh no, now I'm actually going to have to dive into the world. I'm actually going to have to get a job, because if I don't do this, if I don't keep myself going, I'm going to lose my girlfriend, I'm going to like lose a reputation, I'm going to lose bits and pieces of my dignity. And so it was scaring me. And so within that time period, my instant thought was, just clear the slate. Everything that I'm scared of losing because of this experience, I'll go ahead and lose it. So instead of facing the giant, facing the beast of me failing at YouTube and really just accepting that, or not accepting it and going full force into YouTube and really doing what I needed to do to keep it alive, I cleared everything. So that was YouTube, girlfriend, friend group, everything. I kind of just dispersed and went back into my. I'm like a recluse. I'm straight up like a recluse, and so I recoiled, and so within that, I have food sitting here. I'm just rambling on, but within that, like I said, I didn't necessarily know what it was. I didn't necessarily know because at the time my thoughts weren't hopeless. It wasn't hopelessness that my thoughts were going against. Um, it was more of like the jarred oh no, right? Like I said, I changed my name within YouTube, and immediately I saw the repercussion of that. Um, but if I think about it, I was right there at the end of high school and everything. Like I said, there was parts and experiences that I felt like I was missing out on if I didn't just jump the gun and just do them right then and there because this was the end of high school, right? So all of that is over. So I guess like your post high school, wow, this is real life. It sat in with me. It finally set in, and within that, at the same time, was my YouTube stuff. So I did end up plummeting. Like I said, I cleared the slate, but I didn't recognize still what was happening. And so diving into my next relationship, I didn't patch up or do anything to make sure I was good from all of that pressure I just ran from. And so the next stage in my life was full force dealing not only with individuals but with scenarios that I had never experienced before. I had never traumatic stuff, and these things were happening as a normal, as like me as a bystander looking upon these things, hearing these things, whatever. It was excruciating to experience. Um, Physical stuff, verbal stuff, emotional stuff, spiritual stuff. There were so many things coming from so many different angles. I dove straight into groups of people that I didn't even realize were real, right? You hear all these different stories about the different types of peoples, you need to stay away from, you need to do this and that. And you don't realize that you need to stay away from them because they become your friends so quickly. They're normal, right? Until they're not. And so the people I involved myself with did not cater to the, again, pressure I just ran from. And so when that pressure comes back, I'm not prepared, right? I haven't prepared myself. I haven't anything. I haven't even reflected, right? I just straight up booked it, cleared the slate, said YouTube's failing anyway. I'll just let it go down with the ship. Once I finally get that low paycheck, couple dollars, it'll finally be real. Whatever. Um, I'll put everything I have into this relationship and we'll figure out where we're going to go from there. Well, I was doing all that and just my mind was clouded and I had no idea. So I just kept going deeper and deeper. And then that's where the substances ended up entering as like an everyday thing. And again, I was using weed every single day. I was smoking weed every single day. And again, not realizing that that I was suppressing still all of that pressure I had run from. So I kind of put myself in, instead of dealing with all of that pressure beforehand, I let all of it trickle and pretty much spiraled myself into about 7 years of bad luck. And what 7 years of bad luck is you can't hold regular relationships, whether that be intimate or just friend base. Companionship becomes very, very rocky. Communication becomes very scarce, or you can overshare to the point of people running away from you. But your communication is no longer forward base. It's no longer projecting base. It's no longer in a forwarding motion. You become in a stagnant form of communication within this state that I'm speaking of. And so that you don't necessarily, everything you say has no meaning, has no value, has whatever. So the people that you end up hanging around also have that same sort of communication. Or if you started hanging around real people, they would shut you up real fast, tell you how stupid you sound. But when you have the certain group of circle, a certain type of circle, it just flows. It flows, and so I very quickly, again, blindedly, I had yet to open my eyes and realize, like I am stepping into the life of, I'm blindly letting depression hold my hand and lead me into the life that I would live as a depressed individual. Now, again, I was just doing YouTube. And then all of a sudden, like I said, it wasn't like it was a lack of motivation. It wasn't like this or that. But I feel like I wasn't confident enough in iOS Planet. These little tidbits and thoughts started poking at me. And so it broke my confidence in iOS Planet to the point where I would make the decision to change the name. Changing the name spirals it down to, you just change the name of a brand. You can't do that. So automatically spirals down. I see the repercussions of that and get scared by it and completely pull out of the game. Okay, so I self-sabotage myself by me not being confident in the brand that I was building from the ground up. And so, again, I did all of this blindly, but that was all of the works to lead me into clearing the slate, finding a new relationship that, again, I entered in blindly. Many red flags on my end. Not like they have many red flags, but the relationship was a red flag. Should have never happened. But what happened for me doing it? 2 years of what was called a relationship, followed by 2 more years of still wanting to hold on to something, followed by a year and a half of straight up solo dolo spiral, followed by the awakening, the what am I doing? And when that hit me, the what am I doing? Oh, buddy, my world opened up. I not only got sober, I started integrating just past hobbies and passions back into my life. Of course, I kept writing throughout my spirals. I wrote songs, I wrote poems, I wrote short stories. I kept writing around, but I didn't necessarily read. I didn't necessarily write anything of about myself. I was always so deep within my feelings and all of that. I was lost within the fields. I wasn't properly writing. I wasn't structurally writing. I was just nonsense. When I got free from the thoughts of what it was, I started reading again. I can't even watch movies anymore because it's like this time. I've sat idle before. I've sat still and just did nothing before, and that's how I feel when I'm watching a movie now. Doesn't matter how cool it is, how related it is, whatever. When I'm watching a movie, it's like I've been here before and I didn't like it. I've sat here mindlessly staring at a screen before, but the last time I was doing this, my mind was not good. And so movies, video games, I don't get that gratification anymore, right? I don't think of a new video game and just so excited to get home and play it, because my mind is on so much more things of value, not things of, you would say like material things of this world. I would rather teach, people about values and lessons within standards of oneself than to teach somebody how to build a mob spawner in Minecraft. Like, that's how shifted my brain has gone. Just from the simple fact of I started identifying those things as what they were. Like I said, I was so blindly just walking next to this sad, sad, sad entity. And when I finally woke up, it was like, yo, like, not once in my life if I wanted to think these things. And then all of a sudden, something happened. And whenever I said something happened, my brain just kind of rewound and just started backtracking. I started pulling out the internal vaults. I started going through that subconscious like crazy, and I didn't even mean to. And it got to the point of I saw the starting point. I saw where I had the chance to identify it. And I just kind of turned a blind eye to it all and just kept going with the motion that I thought was right. And yeah, that's how it kind of spiraled me into a great period of sadness. It made me, like I said, I didn't have the idea of hopelessness at the beginning of the falling of everything, but give it about 4 or 5 years of it just curating, just boiling, it ends up turning into hopelessness. And I was at a state of hopelessness, and I got down on my knees. I prayed. I said, Lord Jesus, I said, you're the only one that can take my parents. No human being can take this weight from my shoulders, because I'm asking for answers that are beyond me, beyond, people that, if you can't see the future, you ain't got my answers. And so, I just got down and I prayed my heart out, and I physically felt a blanket, and my eyes started seeing clearer. That's metaphorically, it's spiritually clearer. My mind became a lot more sound. I wasn't just numbly walking through the world, Again, I started identifying these things just right on the bat. I made a mistake. That is not what I truly believe within my character. That is not truly what I want to demonstrate within my characteristics, within my existence upon this planet. When those things started being identified to me just at face value, and I had to just start reflecting on it within myself, it was a complete 180. And so basically the core idea of this video is, I know it was about a few months ago, whatnot, whatever, but not necessarily men's mental health. I don't like the word mental health. I don't like the word mental illness. I don't like all of that. No, because these are again, you don't just. There are certain events, certain things that could trigger these thoughts to then pop around, but like they are not naturally there. You don't naturally wake up. It becomes such a habit, and you're so used to it. Yes, it may feel, yes, I'm naturally, these thoughts of putridity, definitely not a word, but these horrible ideas and thoughts, and they're not naturally in your head. You're not naturally sad. You're not naturally, you're just focused on the wrong areas. And again, it takes a lot of asking questions that we don't have the answers to, and humbling ourselves to the fact that we don't know the answer to it. Understanding that you yearn to be the smartest person in the room, but have to humble yourself to understand that you will never be the smartest person in the room. There will always be someone that knows something that you do not. And so when you take on those two roles hand in hand, life changes. And so within that mindset, I just wanted to come to you guys and share that was my true experience. It wasn't that, I changed my name and this and that, whatever. It was a spiral. It truly was a spiral that was all happening internally that I didn't even at the time realize was happening. And throughout the years, was able to not only see my mistakes, because a lot of the times people take that pain and then lash out to the world. Why is this happening to me? Why is it? I knew why it was happening to me. I didn't have to ask the world. I didn't have to ask God. I didn't have to, I knew. I knew I'm not a person that deserved to be, treated at the lengths of the negative lengths that I was treated within an extent of years, a period of years. I know I don't deserve that. I don't, but that's not for me to take on to the world. I may not deserve it, but I may have been wording it. I may have been needing it. I may have asked for it in my own ways to be sent through that trial, to be sent through that fire. I don't know. But since I'm through it now, I would never change a thing because of the enlightenment, what I see now, what I know now just from that experience, just about myself. And again, standards for oneself. It is woken me to a whole new world, and I just wanted to share with you guys. If you're in a state of hopelessness, if you feel like you may be entering into a state of hopelessness, if you have been there and have exited that state of hopelessness, or know somebody in that state, know that again, you can take those two roles of yearning to be the smartest person in the room, but humble enough to understand that you will never be that person, and take it hand in hand. And within that, you will find hope within the hopelessness. Not being the smartest, never ever going to be the smartest person in the room shouldn't be hopeless. That should be, then I'm dang sure going to be second, right? Take it on, make that motivation and say, well, once that one person that is smartest in the room leaves the room, then what does that mean? I am the smartest person. So you got to be prepared. So you got to put forth that just full throttle effort. And that's what happened to me. I like I said, got down on my knees and for myself, put that full throttle effort within myself and said, you know what? I ain't letting go. I ain't this, no. Give me the answers I don't know, or give me the answers to the questions that I'm oblivious to, and let me walk that road. And so that was, in a way, my testimony. That was, in a way, kind of the true story of what happened to me. Just don't be blinded. If you start feeling or thinking in certain types of ways that you're like, no, I wasn't thinking like this yesterday, start trying to pinpoint things. Start trying to reflect on yourself. It isn't other people making you think this way. It isn't other experiences outside of somebody may be involved within an experience, but that was your experience that is now making you think that way. Again, somebody could experience the same thing as you and deal with it completely different because they're thinking about it differently. So the experience you went through and what you're carrying with you afterwards is all on you. And very, very, very few people, human beings on this earth, is ever going to be able to correct that. That's on you. And so sometimes it does take getting down on your knees and humbling yourself and say, you know what? I can't do this alone, and it ain't going to take a human being to do this. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys take something from this story. I'm just sitting here eating dinner, and I said, I might as well just switch it up a little bit, come talk to you guys, see how you're doing, and just let you guys know a little bit about myself. And if I can, with a lot of my dumb mistakes and lessons I've learned, if I can somehow share them like I shared so many gaming tutorials of how to do this, that, and the third, I'm going to do that. I'm going to share these things that to now in my life have so much more value than a Pixel Gun 3D video. And I hope you guys take something from it. This was Tyler, guys. I thank you guys for tuning into the video. If you did enjoy, go ahead, smack that like button, hit that bell notification so you do get notified every single time I do post a video. And again, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Keep living it up. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.